Have you checked the children? Your little mad sometimes.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Sometimes that is better.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Jaime Fuego, here.
Here to do another Patreon request for you guys. This one was requested by none other than Scuba Steve, longtime patron at this point.
Yeah.
Even longer fan of the show.
Yes,
and
we appreciate you, man.
Indeed, very much so. And he requested one that I don't think either of us had ever heard of, which was, I believe, from 2016,
Correct.
called Scare Campaign.
Yeah, from the peeps that did 100 Bloody Acres, actually.
Which we have reviewed on the channel. I believe that was a season 1 review, if I'm not mistaken.
Season 2.
Was it season 2?
Yeah, because it was after I joined the show.
Okay. So season 2 review, I think myself and Susie did that one, if I'm not mistaken. But we loved that one, and
I actually watched it too. It was good.
Yeah, I tend to enjoy Aussie horror pretty heftily.
Same.
Wolf Creek, obviously, we watched both movies, both seasons of the show, and it's really entertaining. And
I even like stuff like Body Melt, which is a weird one from the 90s.
I've never actually seen that one.
That's another goopy one. That seems to be the word of the day.
Was Cry Wolf also Australia?
I didn't see that one. I always remember the cover of it with the guy with the mask.
The mask and the knife, yeah. I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that one. I always get that and Wolf Creek kind of mixed up. So,
Anyway.
Nonetheless, this is an interesting one, you guys, and we'll get to the story in just a minute. But my overall thoughts are, having been a fan of both Grave Encounters movies, which we've had in the can, our reviews for both of those forever, and I still haven't aired them, so I'm going to because I love our thumbnails for them. But
I haven't watched either of those.
oh, really? You made the thumbnail? You never saw them? That's funny. But I like that movie, those movies, because it's about a ghost hunting show that actually runs into, meets their match because they don't actually believe, and this time the ghosts are real, and they all pay the price for it. This is basically the Scare Tactics version of Grave Encounters. Scare Tactics being the sci-fi show that was hosted by Shannon Doherty, and I think later on, what's his name? Tracy Morgan hosted it for a little while too.
Interesting.
Where they would every episode had either one or two pawns or whatever, where it was a person they would bring in and they would set up these terrifying scenarios where they're being attacked by a chainsaw guy or something like that.
So like a horror candid camera is the way it
Exactly.
kind of came off to me. Yeah.
Continue, please.
Yeah, salud, sir. Horror candid camera, but you have to wonder, there would have to be some precautions in place just in case somebody went aggro being in a situation like that, and that's kind of what this film explores, right?
Yeah, so, but having never seen it or heard of it before, I enjoyed the execution of this movie.
Same, man.
I thought it was going to be a little bit predictable, but it actually was, it maintained that still thriller mystery a lot further than I thought it was going to.
Agreed.
So I overall really enjoyed this one, and I think it's something that you guys should definitely seek out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I was impressed. Strong performances, and there's a couple twists in the back half of it, one that I expected and then one that I did not, and so that's how the freshness is maintained, because it does veer and kind of keep you on your toes when you're pretty sure something's going on. Then it is, and then it's not quite what that was expected to be. So I don't know, it was slick, it was well acted, as most Aussie horror is, and yeah, man, I definitely dug the hell out of this one. This was great.
Why don't you, well, I mean that, okay, so we hit the story. Well,
yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit more to it. So yeah, there's this group that are making this Scare Tactics-like show, and they're in their 3rd season or 4th season, something like that.
It's called Scare Campaign.
And it's called Scare Campaign, and they get visited early on by a studio high-up or something that basically says, guys, it's not working for us anymore. This is what we need now. And they showed basically a fake snuff kind of thing where the group of people, oh no, it's not a fake snuff thing, it's a video that went viral of a bunch of people supposedly killing someone, but everyone believes it's fake. However, it might not actually be fake.
Was it or was it not? But it's the realism of it, and the fact that at least on Scare Campaign they're like, oh hey, check it out, it was a ruse the whole time. Whereas
they pop out at the end like, oh, we got you.
Yeah, whereas this new, and it almost looks like it was something residing on the dark web or something like that, and yet there were still people actually paying to be subscribers to this crazy channel that is doing stuff that looks so insanely realistic. There's like a ritual sacrifice that is the video that this woman points to, and she's like, we need realism on this level if we're going to maintain. Ratings have been good, but you know, they're not going up, they're actually going down just a little bit, and so we have to kind of reinvent ourselves. And that the main producer dude, who's kind of douchey, but I mean, he's offended, and he's like trying to brainstorm, and
he's like, oh, well, I'll bring you the terror kind of stuff. And
yeah, and he's also, his love interest is this girl who they've broken up, and she's trying to leave the show, and he charms her a little bit.
She's
He's
the
like,
lead
come on
actress on
back
the
for
show,
one
yeah.
more go, you know, kind of thing. And so that's what they do. And they also hire this new younger girl to come with this latest, you know, prank that they're about to put together. And so, yeah, this guy,
Mark, turns out when when everything gets going,
this is all in the trailer, by the way.
Yeah, it's all in the trailer. The Mark is more unstable than they knew, and so when the little girl constantly pops up to scare him, one time he pulls out an axe and basically takes 40 whacks. Well, I mean, not exactly, but you guys know the rhyme.
Yeah.
So, and they
starts going after
the
other crew members.
And the crew's like, "What's going on? What do we do?" So that's what happens. They try and set up a scarier thing, and the Mark ends up being completely unstable.
And of course, producer guys like, keep filming. Let's just keep going with it, man.
Yep, exactly. He's one cut of the deading it.
Yeah.
But it was, without spoiling anything else, it was an entertaining ride. Like the story kept progressing, and it maintained its interest level for me.
Didn't overstay its welcome. It was like lean, mean horror, and you know, also, well, we'll get to it from the visual standpoint, but the visuals also help to tell the story with, you know, the fact that it's kind of part found footage-y, and then also just like regularly filmed as well. And when they can incorporate those together, I'm always impressed. So
yep. Now the acting. I mean, the acting wasn't bad. Again, they tend to get really good actors in these Aussie horror movies, and I was on board. I didn't have anyone really bringing me out of it. And I was surprised by a couple of them too. So I really dug the acting in this one.
Same, man. I think there's a reason why in a lot of American and Canadian films you've got Australian actors and you've got like various European actors, like lots of Brits as well, you know, specifically. And so that's because they're kind of held to a higher standard to a degree, I think. Sorry to knock on my own country and our actors. Line, you know, but yeah, it's just in general, I see a higher standard in that regard. And I was kind of amused by the schmuckiness of the producer guy, but yet he was more of a shade of gray. He wasn't like a complete asshole, like one-dimensional stereotype.
Right.
So that was at least refreshing. He felt like a real person, you know, with his portrayal. And I mean, granted, some of the crew, they're forgettable. They're kind of, you know, cannon fodder, as we often say on this channel. But even the kind of naive, you know, detached, oh, I just don't really care of the young actress, I thought she was effective too. So yeah, no missing links here, and you know, even the you know, lesser peeps, they still played the roles effectively. So yeah.
And then effects wise, I mean, there wasn't much by Maeve. There wasn't much by Maeve. Wow, screwed that up a lot of ways.
That's normally me.
There wasn't much by way of you know, huge music and stuff like that, because they're filming a show and they don't really need it and stuff like that at times. So but the effects are definitely something that play a role in this, and in a couple of different ways, no less. So
yeah, we do have a few scenes of gore. One in particular in the van, where the guy who was, well, no, I don't want to say that. So,
I mean, that's okay. You didn't ruin anything yet, but there's reasons for real gore, there's reasons for not real gore, and all of it is done well.
Yeah, because there is some stuff that's staged, and then there is some stuff that's actually going on and actual death happening. So that's where, I mean, when the actual death does happen, and even the staged gore was, you know, pretty realistic looking.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to be convincing on the show for the Mark to freak out and just be like, oh my God, what's going on? So,
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the gore effects and the makeup effects, because the little girl is done up like a
She's like
usual
the
little
nun,
girl ghost
essentially,
kind of thing.
and
Well,
yet
she's got the pale face and the darkened eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so.
and of course the makeup guy's patting himself on the back, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Aren't I great? Don't I do great work?" And you're like, "Okay."
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, overall, you guys, this is a movie that is worth your time. It was enjoyable. Where did we watch it, Fuego? It was available on one of the streaming
I
sites,
believe it's on
right?
Prime.
Prime. So there you go. If you guys
Amazon
have
Prime.
Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free right now,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely worth your time. It's
Yeah, I
it's a
recommend
good
it.
time. So definitely check it out. Thank you very much again to Scuba Steve for requesting it.
Good
if you
suggestion.
if you guys want to request movies for us to review, you can do so as well through our Patreon link in the description box down below. You can have us do a review or a commentary, or there's even some other options on there. You can take part in the live stream that we're going to be doing monthly now with our patrons. So
there's a poll too.
Poll for a movie review every month. Yeah, so lots going on the Patreon. Click that link if you're interested. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and subscribe. Make sure you ding that notification bell. Set it to all so you don't miss other reviews going forward. But until next time, you guys, I've been Cecil Laird.
And gracias, I've been Jaime Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.